We're off to Randwick tomorrow, Gelding, and once again we're recording on a Friday. Got into a bit of a groove, but actually I think we're picking a lot better, and our percentages are up by recording on a Friday. So maybe we should keep going at it.
Good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, listeners. Yes, it seems to be becoming the trend, doesn't it? But Professor, here we are taping on a Good Friday for Saturday's races, and Professor, where could I find the Easter Cup being run tomorrow, seeing it's Easter?
In Melbourne, that would have been 2 weeks ago, Gelding.
Oh, right. So Easter was 2 weeks ago, or Easter's now?
No, Easter's now, but the Easter Cup was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right. So the Melbourne Racing Club just decided to change Easter, or just...
Well, now, Gelding, you've mentioned the Melbourne Racing Club. You, like I, being a member of that august establishment, would have received an email during the week that they've moved a couple of races. Now, in the fine print, if you read it very carefully, yes, they've moved a couple of races back to where they were in the first place.
Professor, I did read their communique with a grin. They didn't say they were wrong in moving it, but they're moving it back to where it was, and they're moving the All Stake from where it is now to November, and they're adding more prize money to a 3-year-old fillies race. Why wouldn't you take a leaf out of Racing New South Wales? Create something new. Don't change a policy of racing the fillies on in October so they can prepare for the Oaks. Why change that? But anyway, look, I'm just bemused by what they're doing, Professor. And didn't they also race 1,000 guineas? Not on Caulfield Guineas Day, right? They raced it on the Wednesday, the second day of their 3-day carnival, and now they've put it back to strengthen Caulfield Cup Day. Who knows what they're on about, Professor?
Well, Gelding, at least they did take some of our advice.
Well, yes, the new management have taken it back, but I did notice that I thought last spring carnival the parade ring was going to be in front of the grandstand. Now, I had a look at Wednesday's meeting at Caulfield. Where was the mounting up, Professor?
Oh, it's still at the back, isn't it, Gelding?
Yeah, it's still on the side. So, obviously, is that either a false promise, or we just not bothered moving it now and we'll think they'll forget all about it?
Well, I think they're probably counting the dollars about how much it might cost them to do all of that, Gelding. It's all right to say we'll put it back, but at what cost?
Yes, Professor. Well, as we've said many times on this show, it amuses me how all the race clubs can be so far in debt, but they're saying they're doing a great job, including the VRC. Obviously, you need Rowan Keaton to sing at the chairman's ball on the Thursday night, and fly him over, and we need Liz Hurley and her son out as special guests because they bring so much to the Melbourne Cup Carnival. But maybe that's for another show.
Oh, I think probably for another show, Gelding. Anyway, we're shying away from races at Mornington tomorrow. We're not going provincial. We're going to a meeting where there are 6 group races tomorrow, Gelding, 2 Group 1s, 4 Group 3s at Randwick.
Before we get off that, Professor, can I ask you what was wrong with the format of Caulfield Easter Saturday and Easter Monday, like a double meeting, 2 race meetings? Remember that great bookie robbery?
Yes, Gelding, back in the 70s.
Yes, after an Easter race meeting, where you had all the meeting.
Do you think we should tell them it's too late to be worrying about that now?
Yeah, well, I would have thought, geez, if you wanted to be a forward-thinking committee, you would put the Easter in the city and encourage people to attend.
Well, Gelly, maybe they think that everybody's down on the Mornington Peninsula tomorrow because they're on Easter holidays, but who would know? Anyway, we're going to Randwick. It's a 10 race card, Gelding. The first at 11:25 a.m. They've moved it forward 20 minutes, Gelding. The last's at 4:55, so the patrons will have plenty of time to get home. The feature race is race 8, the all-age stakes, a Group 1 over 1,400 metres and it's worth a cool $1.5 million, if you don't mind, Gelding.
Good prize money, Professor, being offered up there.
Track is a soft 6. We do always give the warning that there might be some rain around Sydney tomorrow morning, so check what the ratings are then. It could either be downgraded or upgraded depending upon how the weather is. The rail, Gelding, it's 6 metres out from the 1,000 metre to the winning post, and it's 5 metres out for the rest of the course. So not often you get one like that, but we have tomorrow.
We have tomorrow. I suppose that's, look, Randwick's had a fair bit of racing the last couple of weeks. So they said there was a bit of wear and tear in that first 5 metres or so. So hopefully we'll get a bit of better ground. Look, Professor, I'm working on a good 4 to a slow 5 track tomorrow. Yesterday, when I made some inquiries, it was a slow 7 after Sydney got a fair bit more rain than they anticipated on Tuesday. They were expecting a good drying day yesterday. This morning on the TAB website, it was a slow 6 with a good drying weather day, like 25 degrees up there with sun and a bit of wind. And the only thing they were hoping for a good day on Saturday, but now there's a prediction of a few showers. So we'll keep an eye out, because if the showers come during the race meeting, that's when tracks get mucked up. So let's just keep an eye on the track. But hopefully, Professor, with some good weather, it'll be a good 4 to slow 5.
All right, Gelding, what are your 2 best bets for tomorrow's Randwick meeting?
Professor, going in the Group 1 races, race 7 and race 8, the Moet Chandon Champagne Stakes. Look, Professor, I just can't go past anything McDonald's riding at the moment. Normally, you've got to pay a tax if he hops aboard your horses, but I think the 2 horses I'm picking have both got excellent chances tomorrow, and at the moment are representing fantastic value, Professor. In the Champagne Stakes, I like number 1, State Visit. This is a 2-year-old trained by Kieran Maher. You don't often see McDonald riding for Kieran Maher. Normally he's on for Waller or for Cummings, but he's missed their horses in this race. Hopped on number 1. This horse ran second 2 weeks ago, Professor, in the size produce, only beaten 0.2 of a length. Collett rode it very, very well, but with McDonald on tomorrow, hoping it can improve that little bit of a margin. Vinrock that beat it is not in the field. Drawn barrier 12 should be out of trouble. 2-year-old have plenty of room to run. It's owned by Coolmore. This horse has just got a lot going for it. As I said, 3 starts for a win, a second in a Group 1, and then it won at a third at Rose Hill in the Pago Group 3 race. I think this is just building up. It's by Wood and Basson. To me, he's got everything going for it. You can get $6 now, Professor. Very often you see McDonald horses at 6 to 1. So I've jumped on board and I've gone race 7, number 1, the State Visit. Then going an old favourite of mine in race 8 in the all-age Group 1 Professor, going broadsiding. Bit of a rumour going around. This 3-year-old may be moved over to Europe to continue its racing after its race tomorrow at Randwick. Won its last start, the Rosehill Guineas, a Group 1, drops back to 1,400. I think this horse is a ideal middle distance type of horse, Professor. Drawn beautifully in barrier 3 with McDonald on board. I can see him giving it the run of the race. And I've hopped on at $6.50 already, Professor. Again, great each way value, I would have thought, for a horse that's it's a 3-year-old. So it's the youngest horse by a year or two in the field, Professor. There's only one horse that has won more money than it in the field, and that was Sunshine in Paris, which was due to winning a sprint race, the $3 million sprint race during the Spring Carnival. So tomorrow, Professor, my 2, the James McDonald double, race 7, number 1, State Visit, into race 8, number 14, Broadsiding. And you like, Professor?
Yeah, Gelding, the first tip's a little bit earlier than yours. I'm going in race 4, the James HB Car Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for 3-year-old fillies over 1,400 metres. I like in this race, Gelding, horse number 2, Zeitung, coming out of barrier 5 now. Gelding, I did German at high school. Do you know what Zeitung means?
No, Professor, I did French in high school.
That's right, you did. No, it means newspaper.
Newspaper?
Yeah, so right. I'm going for newspaper tomorrow.
Okay, very a little known fact. Very good, Professor.
Bit of a fun fact, Gelding.
I like it.
It's had, Zeitung, or newspaper, has had the 12 starts for 3 wins and 3 placings, so a 25% win rate, 50% place rate. It's in equal class tomorrow, Gelding. It's won at the class, so it's won at Group 3 level. That was in the Vanity Stakes at Flemington in November last year. It's the Blue Army. It ran against the top weight 2 weeks ago, Gelding Clean Energy, which is a Zoo Star filly. They ran 4th and 5th. Clean Energy just finished in front of it, but Zeitung was coming from a lot further back than Clean Energy and was making ground on it. I think the 1,400 metres might suit Zeitung because it's won at this distance and won well. So Mark Zara's in the saddle, who's in career form, 13% over his career, but 14% in the last 50. And, of course, James Cumming, the Blue Army, they always put together their horses very well. You can get $6.50 and $2 at the moment, Gelding, so great each-way odds.
Good each-way odds, Professor. I'd like to bet, again, notice this horse running home very strong last start and got a bit booked for a run. So hopefully if it gets clean running tomorrow, it could certainly improve its position. But again, a very hard race, Professor, as they all are tomorrow. They're very open and very hard.
Well, yes, Gelding, because
many chances.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be getting $6.50 and $2 for Zeitung in some other sort of race.
No
doubt
exactly.
about that.
A Group 3. Do you know any 3-year-old fillies run over 1,400, Professor?
Yeah, I do. One's just coming back into work at the moment.
Oh, okay. A bit late for this one. Okay. Another day, Professor.
Perhaps another day, Gelding. All right. My second one is in race 9, the Hallmark Stakes. It's a Group 3 for 3-year-old and above, over 1,200 metres. I like in this race, Gelding, horse number 9, General Salute, coming out of barrier 11. It's had 10 starts for 3 wins and 2 placings, so a 30% win rate, 50% place rate. It's in equal class, Gelding. It was the last start winner in the class and over the distance, so there's a lot to like about that. It's won its last 2 in a row too. Third up.
Just going to mention that, Professor.
Sorry, Gelding?
I was just going to mention that.
Yes.
It's in fine form at the moment.
And one on a soft track as well, Gelding, so it ticks quite a number of our filters.
Yep. Meets them all, Professor. Yep. 30% win rate, 50% place rate. Last start winners. Oh, I don't know. You've got everything. One
in the class, one in the track conditions. So, yeah, it ticks a whole lot of filters there. Tyler Schiller's in the saddle, Gelding, and Gerald Ryan and Sterling Alexiou The trainers, they're in career form. Gelding 15% over their career, 20% over the last 50. That's a great rate for trainers.
Great rate, Professor. Very hard race, as I said, very open race. But, geez, Professor, I like it. Good odds.
And because it's a difficult race, Gelding, great each way odds, $5.50 and $2 you can get at the moment.
Beautiful, Professor. I like it. A bit different than the last couple of Saturdays.
Yes.
At Randwick, they've all been rather short and all been getting up, whereas tomorrow's a very open race. I think if we get 2 winners, Professor, we'll do well.
Well, you mentioned that, Gelding. We're coming off 50% win rate, 100% place rate last week, so very good for the parlay viewers.
Yes, and the week before, I think was
75% win rate and 75% place rate, Gelding. So we're in good form at the moment.
Yep, just a couple of bad rides there. That day might have fixed something out, but we've built a bridge over it, Professor.
Yeah, we might forget about it one day, Gelding. We were talking about it in the warm-up, though.
I will get over it.
All right, Gelding, my 2 for tomorrow are race 4, horse 2, Zeitung, race 9, horse 9, General Salute. Now, let's look at the Professor's parlay. The Professor made a little bit of an error last week, Gelding.
Yes.
He whacked in a Friday night game and only realised it once he was putting the show together and up on YouTube. And so he put some broadcasts out to people that there was a rehash to the parlay in the comments section. So hopefully people pick that up.
We know certain listeners do follow the Professor's parlay religiously, Professor.
Yes, they do, Gelding. So last week we went for Autumn Glow. Now Autumn Glow was scratched.
Yes.
So that would have been okay in the parlay betting though, Gelding, because that just would have been rolled over as a part of the $5 bet. But Broncos and Roosters, the Roosters, Gelding. I spoke to Deligan about it on yesterday's show. Oh my goodness.
What did he say?
Well, he had no explanation for it, Gelding. Do you know that?
Hold on. Did you say the giraffe had nothing to say or no explanation for it?
Well, he had plenty to say, but there was no real explanation for it, Gelding.
Okay. He still talked. He just didn't explain it.
Yeah, the Broncos played the Roosters at the Roosters' home ground in round 1 and got beaten 50-14, and it was expected that would happen again on the Broncos' home ground last week, but it didn't. Goodness me. And then, of course, Freo defeated Richmond, so we had a scratching, a loss, and a win. So that we decided to trash that. Then our amended parlay, Via Sistina, 1.
Yes.
Freo beat Richmond, 1.
Yes.
Blues versus West Coast Eagles, 1.
Beautiful.
So
Professor.
Our amended Professor's parlay did get up.
It's a beautiful thing. I do like it. I like it when you're in the AFL, Professor.
So we count now 7 from 17. We count both last week, Gelding. So it was we were 1 of 2 last week. 7 for 17 since the start of the year. So we're still running at 41%. So we're keeping our nose above 40. That's very good.
Yes, the target is 50, but 40% in itself, as I keep saying, Professor, is a fantastic winning rate when you have to get the 3 winners.
Yes, it is, Gelding. All right, so this week at Randwick, we're going for race 8, horse 14, broadsiding for all the reasons you mentioned before, and we're going to parlay that into the Gold Coast to beat Richmond. Richmond playing at their other home ground on Saturday night, Gelding. Since when was Marvel Stadium Richmond's home ground?
Well, Professor, with your membership, sometimes you've got a reserve seat there at Marvel.
Oh, do you? Are you going?
No. No, Professor, have another engagement.
All right, Gelding. Well, the Gold Coast Suns have started very well. They've started the year 4-zip. They're in 3rd place, Gelding. Unknown territory for them. They've got a miserly defence too, Gelding. They've only let in 290 points over those 4 games, so the average points against are only 72. Richmond 16th. They won their first game, Gelding. They've now lost 4 in a row. They've got the 2nd worst defence in the league, letting in an average of 114 points a game.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it, Professor?
No, and the only team worse than that's West Coast Eagles, Gelding. So I think Gold Coast Suns will win quite comfortably. They're $1.06. The line's 46.5, Gelding, so even the bookies don't like Richmond.
Can well understand with good reason, Professor.
All right, Gelding. So this is these two games. One's your team that's going to get the whack, and now my team's going to get the whack. Fremantle.
Looking forward to the 24th of April, Professor.
Yeah, well, it'll be Fremantle to beat Melbourne, Gelding. Fremantle 8th. They've won 3 out of 5, including their last 3. They average 89 points a game, Gelding. Melbourne have the second worst offence in the league. They're averaging 61 points. So when you've got a team that averages 89 versus a team that averages 61, you almost know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yep. Your mathematics from school will tell you the probabilities, Professor.
Exactly, Gelding. Melbourne have lost 5 from 5. There's only one worse offence in the league, Gelding, and that's the West Coast Eagles, and we know where they are. They're stone motherless last. So the bookies are very friendly, 19.5, Gelding. I would have thought I wouldn't be taking Melbourne at 19.5.
No, you would have thought it would have been in excess of the 4-goal region, wouldn't you?
You would certainly, Gelding. And you can get $1.32 straight out for Freo. So I thought that'll add some value to the parlay.
Oh, beautiful, Professor.
All right, so tomorrow's parlay, Gelding, at Randwick, race 8, horse number 14, broadsiding into the Gold Coast Suns to beat Richmond, into Fremantle to beat the Melbourne Demons. Well, Gelding, a lot to talk about and a lot to consider there. And what we should say is if people are liking these race tips, then there's a little button just down below us, the like button. We want you to like. And also we want you to subscribe, because then you'll find out when That's Racing's on. You'll also find out when Dalek and I are talking rugby league. And then if we ever do another Sportsfan radio, we're stuck on 499 shows, Gelding.
Oh, you've got to get it together soon then, Professor, don't you?
Yeah, we must. And let's just keep repeating, 50% win rate, 100% place rate last week. So we're definitely in form.
Yes, we hope that the listeners are doing extremely well out of them, and as we said, we look for winners. The odds are a little bit superficial to it. We look for the winners first, and then hopefully these parlays can soon add up to something for you.
Exactly, Gelding. All right, so until next week, and That's Racing, it's good luck
and good punting.